Welcome back to the channel. It's Bailey and Jett, and we wanted to go over some tips for beginner drummers. Now, I come from someone that studied music production at the Australian College of the Arts, and I also had drum lessons for on and off for the best part of like 6 years. Jettos over here comes from the self-taught and the YouTube and the community side of watching other people and learning from that. So we're going to split it down the middle, and Jet's going to kick us off with his self-taught tips.
So number one for me is to record your progress. So that whether that's you're just playing around on the kit, if you're learning a new song, such and such and such and such, record your progress, because it's always good to go back and look at how far you've come in that time. And I still do that to this day at my Instagram, Drums by Jett, which you can check out at the end of this video. You'll see from when I first started posting videos over 2 years ago to somewhat now, and you'll see that the progress is there, and you get my gist.
As Jordan Peterson says, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today.
Yes. And also, don't worry about what everybody else says. Just throwing that in there now. Number two would be patient. Something that I struggled with a lot when I was learning, and I would 100% crack the shits and go, fuck this, I don't want to keep doing this anymore. But then I'd screw my head back on, and then I'd get back into it and eventually become very patient and work my way up. Like Axl Rose said, all we need is a little patience. Practice regularly, but also be courteous of your neighbours. My setup at home, I don't have any soundproofing. I don't have a great setup like here that Bailey has put together, which is really neat. I've just got a huge bedroom and bash around on a kit, but I limit myself to finish at about 5 p.m. As soon as 5 p.m. rolls around, that's when people are starting to cook dinner and kids are starting to get settled down and everything like that. So just be courteous of your neighbours.
I think another thing on that is, much like you wouldn't want them to assume that you're some delinquent that has no musicality or any idea how to play an instrument, you want to assume that they are going to be open as their default to what you're doing, rather than the inverse. Don't assume they're going to come knocking on the door and yell the house down. Like for my instance, I have one shared wall. For my birthday, we had as many musos as you could fit in this space from the local scene, all playing quite loud, and it was nighttime. And all we got was, it's nice to hear the other instruments for a change rather than just the drums. So you got to conduct yourself with an attitude that is respectful from the get-go. Otherwise, how do you expect them to not sort of fight that and try and, cut you down? I have been lucky that I've never had that problem, but you just got to start in the right way. And yeah, as Jett said, be respectful with times. And just because the law says you can maybe make noise till 10 p.m., don't take the piss.
Ask lots of questions. No question is a stupid question, as I've learnt copious times, whether it's with work, whether it's with music or anything like that. And that's how me and Bailey met. I shot him a DM and asked him a few questions a long time ago now, and here we are. We're shooting videos together. He's still giving me tips, and I'm sure he's probably learnt some things off me, like this. Don't know if you can see it, but this beautiful little stack placement over here. Stole that from me.
Yep, I did.
He stole that from me.
I have a question for you, actually.
Fire away.
When it comes to discovering new music, how do you discover new music, or what other people are up to and new bands and stuff? Like, what's the easiest way you do it?
I find the link in their bio.
Yeah, see, that is actually the correct answer you'll find, folks. And the best way to do that is with a campsite bio. Campsite bio has so many opportunities for analytics, customization, basically getting yourself a website without having to have a website. That's the best way I can describe it. If you want to learn more about campsite bio and what it can do for you or your band or your business, then head to the description of this video and hit my code and get yourself an extra $10 off your first month. And enjoy your 10 days free trial, and enjoy people being able to find you easily with Campsite Bio.
That's right. Click that link in the description and you'll get all those things.
Excellent. See, he's doing all the heavy lifting in this ad read, all the heavy lifting.
And this rolls into number 5, and that is put yourself out there. That is one of the main things and most important things that you could possibly do if you want to join a band, if you want to just people to see what you're doing, if you want to track your progress like I touched on before. Just put yourself out there. Start an Instagram account. It doesn't matter about followers, doesn't matter about likes or anything like that. Just post videos regularly like Balos does and like I do sometimes, and yeah, something good will come of it.
I'm going to take something that I learnt that I suppose maybe came from not having a self-taught background, and that is the power of collaboration. Now, I've said it 643,000 times on this channel about how much I care about, it's a lot of times, how much I care about collaboration and how it's such an integral part of music. I feel like you get the patience, you get the need to want to record and understand your progress, the need to put yourself out there. All those things, you can't do collaboration without any of those things. So by doing all those things, it aligns you with if you have the right attitude, with the goal of collaborating and working with other people, which is just fantastic. Regarding the more structured teaching side of things, though, there's value in sight reading. I was just talking on an interview with someone the other day about getting thrown in to play in a concert band with 20 minutes notice, only having sheet music, and just having to figure it out. And I didn't play it exactly right, but with the 3 songs I learned in 20 minutes, based on the sheet music, it gave me a guide. Another thing on top of sight reading and the collaboration side of things is the opportunity to learn learning. And often you will, in a sort of, if you're into that YouTube thing and you're looking at Drumeo every week and trying to find stuff, you'll understand how to learn whatever they're putting in front of you, and you can get some really good techniques from there. I've put up some techniques on my own channel about these sorts of things, but in order to be able to learn about learning, I find that getting a teacher, someone who is there to explain the foundations and essentially go over things, as much as you can get the video to go back and from the start again, they didn't know whether you got it the first time because they're not watching you do it. So either having a live thing with someone who can sort of watch and do perhaps a Zoom or something like that, or just having someone sit with you and go, yep, okay, so I understood that you understood what I was asking, but you just haven't nailed it this time. And then going back and actually being able to stop you from essentially making really, really close sounding mistakes. Because essentially, if you don't know how it should sound, it does lead you for the opportunity to potentially get really close and think you're playing it right, but you're hearing what you wanted to hear. And I suppose that is one thing that I noticed came from actually having lessons, was just a bit of a benefit, whether or not you're self-taught or sort of instructionally taught. I reckon that pretty much wraps it up. We've got some really good tips, I think, for beginner drummers, whether you want to go into lessons or whether you're happy to just sort of feel your way through, getting in bands, collaborating, being respectful when you're practicing, being patient with yourself and everyone else, and keeping track of your progress. That's really king. It's cool to see a bunch of new drummers coming out and trying different things and utilizing sort of this new YouTube wave we're in. And yeah, if you ever have any queries or concerns, or you ever want to hit myself or Jett up, just drop us a DM on Instagram or drop a comment on here. And until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
Bye.